But first, let's talk about the stages of a relationship, how they work, and why a sales funnel is so effective. There are many stages of a relationship, but a lot of psychologists break it down into three phases. These are three phases that you go through when you enter into a relationship with somebody or a brand. It works the same way. The first is curiosity. So the first stage of a relationship is going to be curiosity. And somebody will either pique your curiosity or they will not. So what piques our curiosity? Well, I bet if I gave you a chance to answer, you would come upon it pretty quickly. The only thing that really piques our curiosity about another person is whether or not they can help us survive. That's really it. Whether or not they can help us survive. So, you know, you're talking to somebody at a dinner party, you've never met them before, you discovered you went to the same college. Okay, well, when you discover that you went to the same college, what happens in your mind is you begin to batch your thinking, assuming they are like you in many other areas, which makes you feel safe with them, which removes them as a threat to some degree, and allows you to go to the next level of a friendship. But that was all in survival. Let's say somebody has solved a problem that you need to solve. Well, there's going to be a connection. There's going to be chemistry there because they can help you as a friend maybe solve this problem. Even romantic, back when we were dating and all that stuff, all the romantic interests were actually survival, very, very primate survival mechanisms that were causing people to be attracted and create chemistry with each other. A lot of that was your parents and you literally trying to fulfill or resolve unfulfilled conflict with your parents. I don't know if you ever were really attracted to somebody and you realize, oh my gosh, that's my mom or my dad, and I'm attracted to them in order to try to resolve something in my childhood. When you start figuring that stuff out, you really figure out how screwed up human beings actually are. And it's a wonder that we even make children, but we do. And so we're doing great. But it really is all rooted in survival. And that first piece of survival is curiosity. I'm curious to know more about you because there's something that's going to help me survive. The next phase is enlightenment. And by the way, these are very high-level, 50,000-foot phases of relationship. I know Ryan gets into phases of relationship, and there's 12. That stuff is amazing. This is really, really high level. But the next phase of a relationship would be enlightenment. So now that I'm curious about you or your brand, I'm looking for an opportunity, or I'm going to pursue a little bit more in order for you to enlighten me about how you can help me survive. So enlightenment is the next phase. So, you know, back when we were dating, it was, there's something about this person that I think might help me survive. We get together over lunch and realize I was wrong, right? This is not going to work. And you bail or she bails or whatever. It's because something in the enlightenment process did not enlighten her as to whether or not this would work. You're too much like her controlling brother, and she's not going to have anything to do with that, whatever. So you know, you're either enlightened in or out. But if the enlightenment phase goes well, and only if the enlightenment phase goes well, do you enter into the third relationship, which is commitment. And commitment is the point in the relationship when you are willing to sacrifice for the other person. That's commitment. When you're basically saying, I'm not going to see anybody else, or I'm going to buy an expensive ring, or we're going to move in together. Those are really huge commitments. It's when the other person puts skin in the game. So how does this translate into a marketing checklist? Well, what we need is marketing collateral that piques people's curiosity, then enlightens them, and then and only then asks for the commitment. So it's those phases that build a natural relationship with your client. And our sales funnel at StoryBrand, and I wrote a book called Marketing Made Simple. You can find that book on Amazon that goes through everything I'm talking about in the second half of the workshop. But in order to pique their curiosity, we're going to create a piece of marketing collateral called a one-liner. And this is one sentence that we are going to write together here in about 15 minutes. You're going to write a sentence, and Bethany's going to read me some of your sentences. We're going to see if they work. But it's one sentence that piques people's curiosity. After that, we're going to wireframe a website. We're going to wireframe a website that takes their curiosity, continues to pique their curiosity, and also begins to enlighten them. And then we're going to come up with the idea for a lead generator, and that lead generator is going to definitely enlighten them and move them closer to a commitment. And then we're going to come up with follow-up emails that ask for the commitment. So the great thing is, you know, because you're familiar with all the digital marketer does, you know that if you automate this process, you are essentially warming up and closing customers in an automated campaign. And that means that if anybody calls your sales rep, they're not on the first date. They're on the third date or fifth date, or they've been engaged for a little while and they're ready to make a commitment. And it just changes everything for the life of your organization. I really think that before you get sales reps, you need a marketing sales funnel. Until you get a marketing sales funnel, sales reps are not going to be super helpful for you. Marketing will boost you out. It's that first booster rocket that gets you out of the atmosphere, and sales may help after that.